only proof of purchase if you have any legitimate reason to claim a return or refund. Be a smart consumer. Demand your rights. It is the law. A message from the Guyana Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission, CCAC, protecting consumers from unfair suppliers. Call CCAC on 219-4410 or visit their website ccac.gov.gy for more information and like them on Facebook. CCAC, protecting consumers' rights.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. Without further ado, let's get to the news in detail. The two suspects captured yesterday for the brutal murder of Dr. Colin Roach at his Kingston office on Tuesday night confessed to the gruesome crime. One of the suspects is a close friend of the slain doctor and was identified by police as 25-year-old Hilton Oliver Jr. Franklin. Sources detail that Franklin told investigators that he had lashed Roach to his head with a metal object in self-defense. However, his accomplice in the murder, identified as 18-year-old Lenric Mosai Bias, said that he did not see when Roach was bludgeoned to death but confessed that they had gone to the doctor's office to rob him that evening. Franklin was the first to be nabbed by cops yesterday during the early morning hours, while Bypass was apprehended later at a call center where he works. According to police, Franklin was the prime suspect, and they had caught him at Quarantine Berbice attempting to flee the country into neighboring Suriname via the backtrack route. In other news, if urgent action on climate change is not taken in Latin America and Caribbean nations, the damage could cost the region $100 billion annually by 2050. This was noted by the Inter-American Development Bank, one of Guyana's key partners in strengthening its legislative and regulatory framework for the oil industry. In its November 2021 report, the IDB stressed that the devastating effects of climate change and the action needed cannot be overstated. In fact, the IDB noted that climate change is already considered one of the major disruptors of agriculture and food systems, while noting that some of the worst impacts on sustainable development are expected to be felt among those whose livelihood depends on agriculture and the coasts. And moving on, the planned upgrade to the transmission and distribution grid for electricity currently generated by GPL is estimated to cost some $686 million. Vice President Jagdeo had expounded on the need to improve the electricity distribution network to a smart grid in order to be able to absorb the expected additional power from a proposed natural gas power plant and the Amila Falls hydroelectric project. He did not give details on the price tag for the proposed upgrades. A perusal of his administration's expanded low-carbon development strategy 2030 outline, however, noted that GPL's development and expansion program estimates the need for an investment of $686 million over the next 5 years to upgrade. And now let's tell you, two men were recently murdered hours apart. One was killed over unpaid debts and the other relative to an old grievance over a woman. The deceased have been identified as 28-year-old Paul Braffett of Maka and 38-year-old Andre Collison, called DJ Choppy, of Bartica. According to information received, Braffett and his alleged killer shared a friendship that had ended because of a girl. On the night in question, the two got into a heated argument and stabbed each other. Hours after Braffett was murdered, Andre Collison was fatally stabbed in Middle Mazaruni for reportedly not paying his debts. While Collison was waiting at the restaurant to collect his food order, the suspect walked into the said establishment and an argument ensued between the two men over the monies owed. And moving on. Guyanese, with the help of their Ghanaian counterparts, have extracted several provisions from local content legislation from a number of countries to be inserted as part of the domestic version of a local content bill, slated to be tabled, debated and voted on in the National Assembly before the end of the year. This came about on Wednesday last when technical staff at the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment and the Attorney General Chambers met with a delegation from Ghana. And now let's tell you, ex-GDF rank Keon King will spend the next 3 years behind bars for his participation in a multi-million-dollar gold heist, which took place on Thursday, August 5th at Wallace & Enterprise, located on Gordon Street, Kitty. King had, on Friday, October 15th, pleaded guilty to being part of a heist which saw gunmen carting off jewelry, cell phones, $38 million in cash and $20 million worth of raw gold. King, while making his guilty plea, had begged the court to grant him leniency. He said that he did not think twice when an offer to rob Wallison's enterprise was made to him, because he was under tremendous pressure to provide for his family and, at the same time, source cash to finish his house. And moving on. A pilot and co-pilot who were found on board a foreign registered aircraft that landed unauthorized in Guyana told investigators that they became lost in their quest to find gold. The duo was detained in Madia after they landed at an airstrip in the area. The men have been identified as 32-year-old Juan David Casido Villa and 48-year-old Gustavo Adolfo Riacos Gomez, a 48-year-old pilot and businessman of Táchira, San Cristobal, Venezuela. And to wrap things up this evening, let's tell you that preliminary results into the CSEC and CAPE examinations show that 2 Queen's College students are the country's top performers at the 2021 exams. The preliminary results of the country's top performers were announced yesterday by the Minister of Education, Priya Manichand. The minister cautioned that the Caribbean Examination Council body is currently reviewing the results and that the grades of the students can change. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Do have a wonderful, enjoyable, and of course, safe weekend.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Prime up and win. Digicel got me winning. Head keeps spinning. Prime up and win. Every day's a chance to win $500,000. Prime up and win $500,000 daily. Simply activate the Digicel Prime bundle and enter the draw to win $500,000 every day. We have $5 million up for grabs. Terms and conditions apply. Digicel, better together.
Fellow Guyanese, after the newscast at 12 noon every day, I am dedicating some clips with extremely important information pertaining to Guyana's future. Please, I beg you, take some time and listen to them. It is for your interest and future generations. This is a message from Glenn Lal saying thanks for listening to the Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Guyana, I have a question for you. Who goes into a business with a partner in which he gives you a limited time to verify the bills he's spending? Well, that is what